Hello everyone, I'm Dr. M, and this is my idea of a beginner's route for Ocarina of Time Any %. I sort of came up with this idea because I was watching some beginners lately stream their Any % runs, and I think a lot of people overestimate how much time can be gained by doing difficult tricks and how important it is to do difficult tricks in your runs. In my opinion, and it's just based off, obviously you can do whatever you want, but in my opinion, if you're a beginner, you should make the run as easy as you possibly can. Just use a very basic, very easy strats everywhere. And make it easy to finish runs and do just that, finish a bunch of runs. And try to get good at just the basic movements, try to get good at the easy strats, and try to get good at collecting the cocos. And once you get a good time doing that, and you find it's getting hard to improve that time doing the same tricks, you can start worrying about adding difficult tricks to the run. But I mean, if you're a beginner, you don't have to worry about Goma Clip or Void Warp or doing fast then the one skip. You don't even have to worry about Wes or Navilas. I mean, and I think a lot of beginners actually do worry about that. So that's why I got the idea that I should make a video showing you what a beginner's route could look like, and also to demonstrate that you can get a decent time doing this. I mean, just having decent movements and being good at the easy stuff you can get a decent time doing that. You don't have to do all of this difficult and fancy stuff. So, I mean, this run is gonna have some very basic, very easy tricks everywhere. And it might be maybe some things that you aren't really used to seeing. If you watch a lot of Any %, it's... I don't know. But yeah, first of all we're gonna get the sword, obviously, because skipping the sword is very difficult to do, so that's not gonna happen. We're also gonna get a bunch of rupees, because we don't want to get the red rupee in Zora's River. So the idea is to get 20 rupees in Kokiri Forest, and then we'll get 20 more as we go down the Zora's River. I'll show you exactly which ones to get here. So in here we can get 12 rupees. There's 2 blue ones and 2 green ones that we can get easily, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'll get another blue one on my way out of this place. Okay. So... okay, so we have 13 rupees now, we need 7 more. And we'll get 7 by doing some backflips and stuff outside of the cold space here. It's just doing these movements gets you the rupees. It's pretty much automatic. Like so. And now with 20 rupees we can just leave the forest. So I'm gonna do the very easiest forest escape ever. I'm doing Navi Dive. And if you know how to do Navi Dive, it's automatic. It's pretty much unfailable. Now, even if you are a beginner, you might want to at least attempt Navi-less, because you're waiting for Navi to appear anyway, so you have a bit of time to kill here. But it's definitely not necessary, it's not a huge deal. And if you don't do Nevertheless, you can like take your time here, line this jump up and stuff, and make sure that you get up there. I will still have to wait a bit for that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we just want to swim down the river, and we'll get the rupees we need pretty much automatically. The only thing we need to pay attention to is, as we fall off the final waterfall, we need to slow down, so that we don't skip over the rupees down there. So, like, hold back here, and you'll get all the rupees. So now we have 40 and we can buy the shield. Okay, West is not necessary. Doesn't save that much time. So we're just not gonna do West, we'll back walk all the way to Kakariko Village. You do not have to worry about not making it before night. You have plenty of time. And especially since we didn't waste time trying to get the red rupee or waste time attempting the West. As you can see, it's nowhere close to being night right now. Okay, like I said earlier, it's a good idea to try to get good at collecting the cocos, because you can really save a lot of time by being good at this. And it's not easy to be good at cocos. I would recommend that you go watch some videos of good speedrunners and pay attention to what they do at this part. Like, pay attention to how they chase after the cocos, pay attention to exactly where they throw the cocos, stuff like that, and try to copy what they do. Also try to watch a bunch of runs. Don't just watch a single one, because like they move around randomly, the cocos, and it's different every time. But yeah, even if it's RNG and random, if you're good at cocos, even if you get bad luck, you can still sort of deal with that and make the coco collecting be alright anyway. Okay. There we go. Now that we have the bottle and the box, we can go back to the forest. And this segment is, there's not a whole bunch of stuff going on here. So, I don't know, there's not too much to say about this. Okay, as you leave the store here, going to Mido, some people like to side off on the rock thing in the water. It's tricky, you don't have to do that. You can just swim over there, and that'll work out every time. It's gonna be like beautiful every time, so. Unless you're really like trying to grind out the last few seconds of your run, I would recommend swim over there. And also I take a couple of hits of damage there because we're not gonna do Goma Clip in this round, we're gonna do the double knockout because it's way easier. So we need to be at half a heart when we fight Goma. But I mean, if you're scared that you might take damage accidentally somewhere and die, I mean, you don't have to take a full heart of damage there, you can just take half a heart. Or no damage at all and just take damage later. You can take damage to the Deku Scrubs or by running into Goma. So, I mean, it'll work out, but this is just an idea of how you can do it. And it works out pretty well. Okay, so with the B1 skip, it is difficult. And like, if B1 skip is giving you trouble and it's ruining your runs, I would say pause spot grid, definitely. It's obviously a bit slower, but it's not that bad, and you can worry about doing it faster later. So I'm gonna show you how to pause spot grid. Well, I will pause spot grid and I'll give you a link to someone explaining exactly how it's done in the description. So pause, pause, and now we get flame on the Deku stick. By far the easiest way is push this block twice, get up here, jump towards the torch, and pull out a Deku stick in air, like so. It'll work out every time, you don't have to worry about doing flame storage or getting ISG and stuff like that. It's not the fastest way, but it will work out every single time, so that's what I'd recommend for a beginner. Okay, so now for the Goma fight. The double knockout strat here is what we want to do is die at the same time as we kill Goma. And I mean, it's not super easy. It takes a bit of practice, but it is a whole lot easier than Goma Clip. So, like for a beginner's route, this is definitely what you would want to go for. But yeah, it might take a bit of practice to get this down. Okay, so we'll die here when the cutscene is over and we need to get back down. The easiest and safest way, in my opinion, is by doing a mega side-off from the Deku Baba in the Deku tree, so that's what we're gonna do. There are other ways of doing it that's probably a bit faster, but we want to keep this very, very beginner-friendly. Whoops. Messed up a little bit there, but it's okay. Okay, you can do a West here, but like, I'm not gonna do any fancy stuff like that in this route, obviously. Definitely don't have to worry about that. But yeah, if you are a beginner, definitely do an MST setup for Ganondorf. It's, at least in my opinion, by far the easiest way. And you can get the heart too when you do that, which makes the rest of the run a bit easier and safer. So, like, for sure, that's what I'd recommend. Okay, so for this part, Void Warp is not at all a beginner-friendly thing, so Void Warp is... we're not gonna do that, we're gonna run down the tower. Pretty much as you normally would. We're gonna fight the Stalfos with some ISG. But yeah, and there's not a whole lot of stuff to worry about here. We got the heart container, so we have a bit of buffer. We can survive getting knocked on the head by falling rocks a little bit and maybe taking a bit of a beating from the Stalfos. So, I don't know. You don't have to be too worried about this. Just don't run into any rocks that are on the ground, obviously, because it will crash your game. But basically what we want to do is stay ahead of Zelda to keep her moving, but Zelda runs really slowly, so it's not hard to outrun Zelda. As long as you're ahead of her, you'll have to stand around by the bars and wait for her to come open them for you. So, I mean, you don't have to move super fast to stay ahead of her. If you do get knocked on the head by a boulder, we have some extra health, so it's not a huge deal. But it does make Zelda gasp, and she stops for a little bit, so it is a bit slow if it happens. So, I mean, if you can pay attention to shadows on the ground, sort of avoid getting knocked on the head. But if it happens, I mean, it's not a huge deal. The main thing really is to be super safe about not burning your shield there. So we're gonna fight the Stalfos. The Stalfos move around randomly, and sometimes they can be a bit annoying and they control you a bit. But it's a whole lot less annoying than Void Warp would have been, so this is definitely the thing to go for. Oopsie daisy. I'm having troubles getting ISG here. Okay, there we go. And I mean, after that part, if you lose a bit of health, I mean, you want to make sure that you survive all the way over to Ganon, obviously, but you don't have to, even if you have full health, Ganon will still kill you in one hit, so you don't have to worry about having health for that fight. And take it slow, like I did there, stop, turn around, and make sure that the camera is good, because that is definitely the scariest part of this tower escape. There's a lot of things you can run into there to burn your shield. Same goes for this, the final stairs here. Some people like to backwalk here, but it saves very little time. And I mean, it's better to just see where you're going and make sure that you don't crash your game. Okay, so the only thing that's left is the Ganon fight, and we're gonna play super safe and trying to make it as easy as we can all the way to the end here, but there's not that much we can do here. So obviously we wanna try to get ISG first try. If you do fail ISG first try, don't stand in place and try to get it again, or do something weird. just like run like hell, put some distance between yourself and Ganon, and go for it again. Just play it safe. Also for the second phase, after you get the Master Sword back, or in this case you get it for the first time, I guess. It's a bit faster if you jump slash Ganon's head and you get ISG when he gets up. But if you fail ISG, it's really bad, and it's risky, so I would say just get ISG while he's lying there and just run into his face with ISG. It's a whole lot safer and it doesn't waste that much time. So yeah, in my opinion that's definitely the thing to go for. And I'm gonna do that here now. Oh, I missed ISG actually, so this is what you do. Run away, I did. Go for it again, and then continue the fight. So that's a good way of dealing with that right there. For some reason, it's easy to fail ISG again. I've been failing ISG a lot in this run. So this is what I meant. Get ISG, like, before you do anything else there and just run into his face. There we go. So yeah, that's 22 and a half minutes. I mean, I messed up a bit here and there, so you can even go faster than that with this kind of route. So, like, if your PB is like way slower, and I mean, you don't really need to do a lot of difficult stuff to improve. So that's basically what I wanted to convey with this video. Tokyo Boy made an excellent tutorial for beginners, and I think pretty much all I did in this route he explains how to do in his tutorial. He explains how to pause buffer the B1 skip, stuff like that. So I'll add a link to that in the description. He might not explain how you get the flame on the deck stick as I did, but it's really nothing to it. Just push the block twice, jump towards the torch and pull out the deck stick in air. It's pretty much all there is to it. When it comes to movement, I mean, you can just copy what I did. I don't know what else there is. I mean, if you have questions, post them in the comments or send me a message and I'll try to help you out. But yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and I hope someone will find this helpful.